Just go for it.
It's going.
All right, awesome. Well, welcome back to another episode of Minnesports. I'm here myself, Sam Easy, along with Nolan O'Hara and Blayne Weber to bring you what's going on in sports. So today we're going to go through NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, a little bit of Twins action as well, and also a few HBO new series coming out. Also, highlighting opinions on the NBA lottery and the Las Vegas essentially super draft, how they basically became the best team in the NHL overnight. But before we start the show, Blayne Weber, what is this day in sports?
First, I'll talk about it. May 17th, in 1875, the first Kentucky Derby winner. His name was Oliver Lewis. He was aboard this horse called Aristides. Aristides? I'm going to say that.
Sounds like a Greek
Wins in
mythology god.
237.75. It's actually, I don't really know how fast that is.
How much money did the winner get?
It doesn't say.
Or is there a gambling?
Well, we can
horse
find
gambling
out.
back then.
We can find out. In 1870, he probably won like $100. Because that's like...
That's still
probably a lot.
crap ton back then.
How much? Okay, you keep going. I'm gonna find this. Okay, so discuss NBA or whatever.
Well, okay. Well, I guess we can start with. Let's just start with the NHL playoffs. So what's going on so far? So we have the Capitals up against the Tampa Bay. I think they're up in the series, correct? 2-1. They play again tonight. Yep.
So.
And then Vegas beat Winnipeg last night, 2-1. And this begs the question: how this Las Vegas team, a rookie. Go on. No, please finish. We need to know your question before we get onto our conversation.
They won $2,850.
Ooh,
That's a ton of money.
that.
In 1875.
If we could somehow find some sort of calculation. Oof. That is.
That's a lot. And then,
Yeah.
and then the second place finisher still won $200, which that's still a lot of money. Like post-Civil War, still a lot of money.
This is 1830.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's keep going. Well,
All right, so Vegas, they basically they won the lottery with all their picks. They somehow selected every single guy who turns out to be great. They picked some scrubs on fourth lines who are turning out to be superstars, like the Columbus player. You know, he's doing well. Marc-Andre Fleury in net. He's doing incredible. He used to be super good for Pittsburgh, but he fell off a little bit, but Vegas scooped him up. Now, when the next NHL... There is going to be another NHL team, because right now there's 31 teams, and that you can't play with 31 teams. There's going to be another team, whether that's a team moves. Well, I don't think another team's going to move, though. I think there's going to be expansion probably in either Seattle or Quebec City. Those are the two right there.
it would be stupid not to put a team in Canada. I mean, everybody loves
Well,
hockey.
yes, I agree.
I mean, and especially Quebec being such a big city. Like a
You're right.
province.
The big old French Canadian. You're correct. But however, there's just disagreements with the city or province of Quebec does not want to pay for a stadium. So owners would have to do it. I don't know.
How much money they're gonna make?
Yep, but
They're gonna make so
simply
much
the
money.
owners are going to have to fork it all over. No one wants to move up there for that reason. So I think Seattle within 2 to 3 years are going to get announced here pretty quick. Just because they're lacking their basketball team. Everyone wants so bad, but they had poor attendance and they moved for a reason. Sorry, it's the truth. Oklahoma City did very well when they had to hose a team, and they earned it simply. So, do you think there will be a future change to the way any new NHL teams get to pick their teams?
There definitely should be. It's ridiculous. I mean, they were able to take players off every team, build a good team. That's not the way how an expansion team should work. Expansion teams are not supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals year one.
But why not? Okay, so
Why do they get to take players off other teams?
So you think that it should change? I think it won't change because why would they do it differently with something that they did a year ago? But tell me, how else are you supposed to create a team? Just draft a whole new. How are you supposed to create a new expansion?
There's bound to be some free agents. Maybe give them the rights to the free agents first. They shouldn't be able to take players off of teams because Wild, like I think about the Wild, we ended up losing one of our best prospects, Alex Tuck, to Las Vegas, and he's playing real well for them. And it's not fair to all these other teams that you got to get the Wild. I don't think the Wild got to take players off of teams during their expansion draft, if I remember right. I don't think that's the way it had been done in the
past. It was different
past.
with the Wild and Columbus when they joined.
That was in 2000, the Wild and
2000,
Columbus.
the Wild and Columbus got in. Yep.
I just think, how did they create the Wild then? I guess I don't inform you. Do you know? How did they create the Wild then? If it's obviously an expansion. If you don't know, well then how are you?
Yeah,
How else do you create a
I do
team?
believe that is the exact same way they just done it. I just think Vegas just hit the nail on the hammer with every single player they selected. They selected some prospects, some old guys, some no superstars because that's not, you don't just go pick up a few superstars because then you don't have room for the rest.
Well, let's throw this out there. So let's look at other expansion teams in other other sports. So how are the
Well, if you wanna-
the Jacksonville Jaguars get to be where they are? How did the Vancouver Grizzlies get created? How did the Toronto
Well, here's
Raptors
one.
get created? Like how does
Well-
you create a team by not taking other
Okay.
players?
Well, here's the sport. You guys love to rip the MLS, but this is the case that happened last year with
No.
Minnesota United.
No.
See, exactly. You shut me out because you
Okay,
don't
fine,
like
keep going,
other.
keep
Because
going.
here's the thing. So two teams ended up going to the league, Minnesota and Atlanta, and it played totally differently because you're only allowed to select a handful of players, like 5 or 6. That's it, and you have about 25 to 30 on a team. So with Minnesota's case, they had to move up a division, so they brought half of their okay players and they picked up a few veterans. They couldn't pick up anyone special. There's no cap in the MLS, so you can do whatever you want. Kind of like how baseball, there's a super lenient cap where if you go over, they don't care. They can pay it, whatever.
NBA too.
Oh, yep, that's true.
Sure.
It's just football where it's really strict. And then, of course, you have this Atlanta United super team. Like, holy cow. They just simply went out and picked up $10 million players here, there. They didn't care because they had so much money. More money than we had. And then, look at them. They're the most attendance in the MLS. They have 50,000 a game, which is, oh, my God, for a soccer game. Like, oof.
So if we were to create a new Seattle hockey team, a new Quebec team,
Okay.
how would you do it? Let's go like that. So let's start with Nolan first because you're farthest away from me. How would you change that system instead of taking players from everybody? Which I guess I'm just gonna interject with this. I don't agree with it because it feels like they kind of picked whoever they wanted best prospects.
I think soccer and hockey are just totally
It just-
different, though. It's not. It's just different. That's just how it is. They're not the same sport. It's not the same kind of deal.
So Nolan, how would you create this new expansion?
I think you should find a way to get them a lot of draft picks.
Okay.
And they can, there's always going to be free agent players. They can look at talent from, overseas maybe. But the expansion teams are expansion teams for a reason. They're not supposed to be jumping out good. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I feel like it hurts a lot of these teams because then a lot of these teams' young prospects don't get protected. And it's not like they could take everybody, but they could take people off of any team. They could take multiple players.
I should have read up on it more, but were the Wild allowed to protect any players?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
okay. There's a reason why
All right.
there's a reason why Las Vegas doesn't have Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin.
Okay.
But
All right.
yeah, they're able. So like the Wild protected Ryan Suter and Zach Parise and Mikhail Granlund, Jason Zucker, but they didn't see. Then they ended up losing Scandella and Holla because they couldn't. You can't protect everybody, so you end up losing some players.
Well, let me throw this back at you. Why doesn't that make sense? Because if you just artificially inject a bunch of draft picks, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Because what about these other teams that have these draft picks? They've already played. I feel like that wouldn't make any sense. Because let's say the hockey's 60 picks, throwing it out there like the NBA, and all of a sudden you're taking away picks from other teams that have already played it. I think that's a poor idea. As far as going with taking players from other teams, I like the idea about the special free agents, giving them a better opportunity, first pick. I like that, but I guess picking other teams, how do you do it? I don't know how how you're supposed to create a team.
Well,
Here's
the thing,
You're
too.
given a budget,
and then
and you just pick.
taking from other teams because they can.
I'll start with this too. I don't like the idea of Las Vegas having a hocky team.
Oh, it's stupid.
If I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I don't like them having a hockey team.
But
That's the biggest
This
problem.
is the best way they're going to keep up. If they had a bad season, they end up being middle of the pack attendance. But with this, next season they're going to sell out every single game again.
Yeah, and maybe that's why they let them take whoever they wanted because they want to artificially the NHL's hey, let's start a new market in Las Vegas.
No, you're onto something. Yeah.
I definitely think that's it. But anyway, Sam. So no one gave his opinion. How would you create a new expansion team for Seattle?
Oh,
What
for
steps would you
Seattle,
take?
Well,
just not
if
really
we
Seattle, just a team in general.
so do we want to play fair or do we want to do Las Vegas where we give them everything so they can
Doesn't-
like you said, artificially
How
bump
much-
them up?
But how much? This is
So
your-
how many
I don't
NHL
know.
players on a typical team?
A
Yeah,
typical team,
That's a good question.
25, 30.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
probably something like that.
Like how about actually play? So okay, so let's say
The
third.
4 lines.
Yeah, I don't know.
4 lines of defense, 4
That's
lines
a
of
good question,
forwards.
actually.
Let's go.
Goalie, backup goalie.
Yeah, let's give it a hard
So, no, let's say-
30 because you're gonna have
Yeah,
people in the
two
farm,
goalies,
decent
five-
players in the farm system.
5 players on.
Let's go. A solid 30.
Yeah.
And how many? There's like, how many rounds are there in the NHL draft? Like 7. There's a lot of rounds.
There's a lot of rounds. It's
Yeah, it's kind of like baseball. There's a lot of rounds where you have no clue who's getting picked. So
Sure.
you should probably give them the first overall number pick.
Okay.
Obviously, maybe give them. If we're gonna play fair, I'm gonna say 15 to 18 guys off of regular rosters you can pick up, and the rest have to be free agents if you want to play fair. But of course, in Las Vegas case, you can pick whoever you want, do whatever you want, build essentially a super team without any superstars. They get all around decent players, so they can keep firing
So I guess,
all cylinders every single time.
Well, then you just raised the question. So I guess why does it matter that Las Vegas is doing well when they don't really have the best of the best, but they're winning? Who really cares?
That's true. They simply could have gotten lucky in their selections, and now they're doing good because
That's
they.
the way are.
It could be, yes, but all those. All right, here's a fact too that it's gonna upset all the Wild fans with Las Vegas reaching the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I could.
The Wild are the team that has made it the least furthest in the playoffs in the Western Conference. It's a sad truth. And that really makes all the Wild fans mad. Like, oh, Vegas got to do this and that. Why didn't we get to do that when we had the chance? It just stirs up other teams who don't have success. That's how it is. It's just jealousy, and that's true. There's a lot of Wild fans I know who are just angry that Vegas can go ahead and rule the league while we sit in the back, get eliminated the first round like every single year. Woohoo.
yeah.
I don't know, this is how I would do it. So I kind of agree with you with like giving them the first overall pick. I guess I really didn't know how big the draft is. Like if you're saying it's 7 rounds.
That's why I was saying you inject a bunch of
I guess
give
you
them like a
could,
bunch of
yeah.
picks in the late rounds,
But
and
I-
then maybe a number 1 overall.
You
pick.
could, yes,
Yeah.
okay. Like the first in every single round, and then maybe in the later rounds, give them
Sure.
an extra pick in that
I guess
round
it
or
makes
something.
sense since there are going to be 31 teams. Just putting an extra pick in doesn't really matter.
No,
I guess, you know?
Doesn't.
Okay, I guess I kind of fine. I agree with Nolan. I guess I never really thought about that because if you would do that for the NBA, that I guess you could do it for the NBA too because if
You're
there's
not
an odd
taking,
number, you're not really taking anything.
But
you're giving
we're not going to see
Yeah,
any
okay, so-
expansion in the NBA anytime soon.
Yeah.
30 teams, it's
I don't know. How
So,
about this?
the
So
NBA
I kind of
is
agree
fine.
with taking a certain amount of players from already created organizations, but not as much as they did, because clearly, obviously, Las Vegas took a bunch of players. Didn't they? They took one from every team. Is that how it went? I don't even. Is that what we established that they took from every team? Took a certain number of guys.
I don't know if they took from everything, but they had the ability to take
the
from every
ability,
team.
okay.
So except for guys they protected, obviously, they're not going to end up with Crosby, they're not going to end up with Ovechkin, but
So yeah. So
They-
let's
they-
say they have the ability to take a certain amount of guys. Say they have the ability to take 15 guys from the 30 teams. So 31 teams. They should do that. Get extra draft picks, and then I don't know. Get a certain amount of like the NHL gives them this amount of money to start out with, and then it's up to you. I don't know. Maybe.
okay.
I
So let's move on to our next topic. That took up a lot of time, but that's good. Discussion's always good. So we're gonna move to the NBA playoffs, and that's going shocking or not shocking. That the fact that Cleveland's down 2-0.
Not
It's-
shocking.
no,
It's
the fact that-
it's finally hit the fan for LeBron and the Cavs because it's like Nolan said, it's pretty much LeBron, 4 other guys versus. I mean, you just saw the way that Boston played them. They worked. I mean, Jaylen Brown worked him.
And this is without their 2 best players.
Exactly. Everybody. worked
not
LeBron.
2
They were
best
forcing-
players. They're
they were
number
forcing
1 best
LeBron into
player.
turnovers.
You don't think Gordon Hayward's the second best player on the
No.
Celtics? Who?
Al Horford.
Okay.
way.
Al Horford
I
is the second
disagree.
best player on
I disagree.
I think that.
Immediate-
Al
I
Horford is a
disagree.
better player than Gordon
No.
Hayward. Yes.
No, but move on.
He's a
But anyway, no, I just think that they were forcing LeBron into terrible shots. They were forcing him into turnovers, and that's pretty much taking away.
Marcus
the Cavs'
Morris,
have.
shut him
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, he
Woo!
shut him down big time with those 42 points last
But
two
Yeah, but
nights
who,
ago.
Yeah, but
2
who
nights.
won? Celtics still won.
Yeah, you can't. This is. Don't
This
get me
is-
started.
this must
on
be
this.
tearing you apart. You're a big LeBron fan, a big Celtics fan.
Well, first of all,
you're gonna be happy forever wins.
I'm not shocked that the Celtics are up 2-0, but I still think the Cavs are gonna win. The Cavs are still gonna
2-0.
win. It's 2-0. Both the games were in Boston.
But so you think it's gonna go to Cleveland, and it's
I think Cleveland's gonna win the next 2 games.
Okay.
I guess they always do play better at home, but I mean, if they play LeBron like they have been playing, what would he? How much did he put up in game 2?
LeBron, he had 42 points. At 42 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds.
Okay, so he had a monster game, but they still lost.
Yeah. So,
Well,
and this is where it's getting irritating for me, is that why is LeBron still being blamed? He put up 42 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. Why is it LeBron's fault that
Because
they
he's
lost?
expected to win games
and
on his
I'm
own.
not
That's
blaming
it's
LeBron.
that's just the
I'm
facts.
simply saying that it's LeBron versus everybody, and he's the first person that you do blame because he's the team.
Because
James is
LeBron
the
makes
team.
himself a target. He
It's
does.
not that he's making himself a target. He's just the best player in the NBA, best player on the team. And how do you not?
And exactly, that's why he's the target. You
Let's
expect
say-
him.
Let's say the New England Patriots lose. Who's the first player that you go to, other than Bill Belichick as the coach? Who do you blame? You blame Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, exactly.
You go with baseball. Let's look at the historic Yankees. You know,
Yeah, it was
Yankees.
Tom Brady's fault
You
that
go
they
to
couldn't
Derek
stop
Jeter,
the
you say,
Eagles
what
in the
happened
Super
with
Bowl.
Derek Jeter? What happened with A-Rod? What happened to those guys? It's just naturally.
That's just the unfortunate
You know-
part of a one-man team. There's many other teams in the NBA who.
Why is it that LeBron is the only one who gets blamed? Durant had 38 points last night and they still lost. Nobody's blaming Durant.
Oh.
Why is it always only LeBron's fault if the Cavs lose? when
LeBron's the best, and they
Why-
expect they
Why
expect
don't
him
we
to win every
hold?
game.
Why don't we hold anybody else up to a standard if we're gonna hold
Because
LeBron up to
because
it?
they're not at his. I feel like they're not at his standard. You expect when LeBron
Standard's a
plays,
good
you
word
expect-
for it.
well, you expect when LeBron plays well, you expect them to win. I mean, when you expect LeBron James to put up 45 points, you know, a bunch of assists, a bunch of rebounds and stuff, you expect the Cavs to win. And when they don't, it's like, what happened? What did LeBron not do? Because you just saw how much did he put up game 1? Like not even 30 points.
He had 15 only.
Did he? I thought
He
put
took
up-
the game off.
Yeah, well, yeah, because like they were down by 30 with like.
They were down right away in the first quarter. He took the game off.
But did they automatically blame LeBron after the first game? I don't really know.
Oh yeah, everybody
So,
blames.
yeah.
LeBron's always blamed.
But let's face it. So let's say LeBron put up 45 points in game 1, and I don't know. Do you still blame?
They still blame him. It's people who hate LeBron are gonna blame him
That's
for
true.
everything.
The
no matter
anti-LeBroners
what.
are going crazy
They're like,
right now. That's true.
oh, Michael Jordan wouldn't have lost. It's
yeah,
always
right.
that same thing. Like, stop that.
LeBron
Like,
James-
because Michael Jordan, he won a whole bunch of championships before Scottie Pippen and before Dennis Rodman, before all those guys, right? He won a whole bunch of championships before that, right? He won a whole bunch.
If you want to start this again, he had a good supporting cast, but it's not like Dennis.
LeBron
Rodman
had a
was
much
like-
better supporting cast for his championships than Michael Jordan did.
Well, yeah, and let's face it, it's not like Dennis
Facts.
Rodman was like.
I
don't know.
disagree.
Go
Dennis
ahead,
Rodman-
disagree all you want.
All Dennis Rodman did was rebound the ball, cause technical fouls, and make people want to come to games. And Scottie Pippen was a decent scorer.
Scottie Pippen was no superstar.
great.
He was
It's
an
not like
all-star, but he was never
Yeah.
never a one-man team. No.
Even if he would have been a one-man team, well, if he would have been on, I don't know, give me any other NBA team besides Michael, he would have been mediocre, I think, at best.
Sure.
Honestly, he's not like the best small forward. He's, this list has him as one of the best NBA players of all time. Really, Scotty.
Maybe of his generation, but all-time, I would not put him up there. Oh, come on.
Kind of detracting.
Yeah, we don't need, but yeah, but I'm not. When it gets down to it, I'm not surprised about the Celtics, being up 2-0. Both the games were in Boston, and game 1, LeBron usually kind of sees what's going on and feels it out.
That is true.
And he did. I mean, LeBron came to play in game 2. There's no doubt about that, and he did. But unfortunately, the rest of his team didn't. And that's what's unfortunate with LeBron. It's like, they talk about players like, oh, if they could just fix one thing. Like for LeBron, all you need to fix is if you could just get a couple teammates, and then they'd be set. But
and he really should. Kevin Love should be better than he is, and J.R. Smith is such a disappointment to me.
J.R. Smith is like, he's such a hit or miss player, and I don't understand it. Like some games he just looks phenomenal,
Yeah.
and you just can't miss a thing.
Those
It's
are the
on
kind of
fire.
players I don't want on my team.
And then next game he's
Jamal
cold.
Crawford.
And I don't get it, but we haven't talked at all about Houston and Golden State. Houston won by 25 last night.
Holy. Where was this at? Was it in Golden State or was it
In Houston, so that series is even 1-1.
I think the fact that Golden State even took a game away this early is a plus. Something the Timberwolves should have done when they played.
I agree with
them.
you.
That's a. Then Houston, of course, came back and just smashed them by 25 points. I think when they go to Golden State, I think it's gonna be another 1-1. It's gonna be. I think Houston is gonna manage to take away another game.
I agree.
It's gonna go. I think it's gonna go 7. I can't even tell you who's gonna win, because those two teams, phenomenal from outside the arc, good at run and gun. Their defenses, they got some decent defensive players on both. They're not a defensive team.
Golden State's a better defensive team than Houston.
I can agree on that. They let the Timberwolves just score way too many points on them.
Yeah. Here's what I think. I think people are really overreacting to Houston's big win last night, because Houston definitely took it to them, but it's 1-1, and the first 2 games were in Houston. To beat it, to have a chance at beating Golden State, you needed to be up 2-0.
Sure.
You need to be up 2-0. So I don't think they're gonna win. I just don't see them having a chance.
I think that it goes like this. I'm really surprised that Golden State took a game from Houston at home, because honestly I thought
The first game, nonetheless.
Yeah, in the first game, I honestly thought it would be like 2-0, Houston coming out on top. But honestly, when they go to Golden State, I think Golden State is just gonna kind of rip them apart. I agree with Nolan. I think that in order to beat Golden State, you have to go 2-0. Now it's 1-1. When you lose at home, that's big. So,
I think Golden State's gonna win this in 6.
they do.
That's my prediction. I mean, if it goes 7, Houston might have a chance, but it'll be. See, I would really like to see it to go 7, just to see what Chris Paul and James Harden are gonna do, because both these players have been criticized a lot for not being clutch, not having it at the end of games, and now they're together. They're winningest team in basketball this year, and they're in the Western Conference Finals, tied 1-1. If this goes 7, I'd really like to see what the two of them are gonna do. Game 7, when it comes down to it, playing against the defending champs. I would love to see Houston win. I really want to see them win, but they just don't have enough talent. They did what they could. Their GM did a really good job of giving you a chance. You got 2 superstars, and then you got a bunch of really good role players after that. So and that's basically all you can get to have a chance at beating a Golden State with 4 all-stars in their lineup. I mean, really. You could make an argument. I think Andre Iguodala, he's been an all-star in his career, right? He's made an all-star. So you got 5 your starting lineup's 5 all-stars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not really a way to beat that. And Houston's got a good of a chance. Better chance than anybody, but they just don't have enough talent when it comes down to it. They got a really good roster. They got really good role players. They don't have enough.
Yeah.
They just don't.
If Houston would add somebody like
LeBron.
Yeah, add somebody like LeBron. Add somebody with like Kawhi. They add Kawhi. Then we're talking. They could probably beat.
No, they got nothing to trade for Kawhi, but I see what you're saying.
Aging
though.
veterans. Joe Johnson, Jeff Green.
George.
Let's go.
Paul George.
Yeah, but that should be something. We haven't really talked about that at all on the podcast, have we? Where's LeBron going? Should we add that onto the docket?
Do you guys really think LeBron's going somewhere?
Listen,
I don't think he's staying in Cleveland.
I think that.
All right, hold on.
I think
that
at the conclusion, if the Cavs lose after Boston, let's talk about it. But if he keeps going, and he wins against Golden State, because it's going to be Golden State versus, let's say it's Golden State versus Cleveland again in the finals, and let's say when LeBron loses, let's discuss that, because there's really no reason to discuss it now. If LeBron wins the finals and he makes it to the finals and does well, he's going to stay in Cleveland. If he doesn't, there's a big chance of him leaving. So,
I think we're all right.
Are you sure?
are we okay? Let me see. Is it working for me?
One of them's totally off right now.
Really? Nolan, talk for a second.
Which one is it? Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties.
I think it might be
now.
Blayne's.
Is it mine?
Check the back of your mic, Blayne.
It's plugged in, but it's just not. Nothing's getting.
Is it working? Yeah, it's working.
It's definitely Blayne's.
No.
That's not good.
Why?
I'm like the biggest part of this podcast, so it's really bad.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
What's yours? Hold on.
Just kidding. Dang.
We are having some technical
We have
difficulties
to
here.
restart again?
No. We'll make it. But
Yeah, better.
Nope.
Have you tried turning it on and off
Oh,
again?
it's on.
It's on. All right, we're
Have you tried turning it on and off again?
all right. We are back.
Okay.
We had some technical difficulties.
But this
with
is
the
perfect
mics.
because this is gonna be Blayne's. This is literally Blayne's segment, the NBA lottery draft.
Well, okay, so what do you want to talk about with the lottery?
Okay, so
So what do you want to talk about? Top 10 picks, or are we talking
I'll,
top 5
I'll
picks?
name off. So you know a lot of the prospects.
Okay,
right?
throw me a team.
I will go down the list of teams, and I want you to tell me who goes there and why.
Well,
Okay?
see,
Write
the
it down.
deal is, I know the prospects, but I don't really know.
Pull up, you
What
can pull up
each
lists on
NBA
your phone
teams,
if you want
because-
to. It's fine.
Well, because I could just talk about the top 5, and because
We all know who the top 5
okay,
is, right?
okay, NBA mock draft. All right, let's go down the line.
Okay.
I'll make it. I'll try to make it as quick as
All right,
possible.
number one pick, the Suns.
Okay, the Suns, either they go. It's pretty obvious. Either you go DeAndre Ayton or you go Luka Doncic.
Who do you think they go
I
with?
think they go with. They need DeAndre Ayton, but if they want to go star power, like I was saying earlier, can you imagine a backcourt with Devin Booker and Luka Doncic?
But you want to spread that out. You're gonna have to spread that out.
But and the other deal is the deal is you can't pass out on DeAndre Ayton because he's the perfect ideal center. He's 7'1", he's huge,
Yep.
and he can shoot. He's developing his 3-pointer. I think they go with DeAndre Ayton they go with the need.
Overrated.
Yeah, I think he's
Oh, we
overrated
saw
too.
that. Oh, we saw me
Yeah,
get a little
he's
angry
overrated.
on that bracket challenge when he was getting destroyed by Buffalo. Oh my
I think
gosh.
he's overrated. He should have taken over that game. And
He
did.
just has
So,
so much potential. That's the reason why he's
He
so
does.
high up.
Yep.
So are you
number
going
2.
Ayton number 1 then?
Ayton number 1.
All right,
All
2.
right.
Okay, obviously
Sacramento Kings.
you have to go Luka Doncic, even though they
Sacramento finally gets a high pick, even though
Well,
they've been
and
terrible
also-
these past.
also.
S-
It,
10
what I
years.
would argue is now that you throw in Luka Doncic in the equation, you have De'Aaron Fox, you have Luka Doncic. I don't really know who else they have at small forward, but you have Cauley Stein.
Oh,
Labissiere.
Sacramento was the 7th best odds, and they got 2nd. What a night!
I think
Woo.
yeah, they're lucky. That
Wow.
really should have been the Mavericks or the Grizzlies. Or no, yeah, is that what I'm looking? Yeah, Mavericks.
That's what you get for
Grizzlies, that's what I'm
tanking.
talking about.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good job. Okay, so Hawks are talking. Honestly, since the
It's gotta be Bagley.
I'm looking at CBS. They have
I'm on it too.
they have Marvin Bagley, and honestly, they already have John Collins at power forward. So why would they?
Why
go-
not Jaren Jackson?
Well, and that's what I was just gonna say. You go Jaren Jackson. He's a huge defensive player. He can
Yeah.
shoot better than Ayton. He has a pretty high motor like that. He has better potential than Ayton, and he can block shots. That I if anything, I would take Jaren Jackson here
For
He's
number
young.
3 to the Hawks?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
take Jaren Jackson here. The only problem with that Jackson is he's 18 years old. Like he's gonna turn 19 in like September or late August or
Yeah,
even October.
they are all
Like,
these
he's really young.
guys are 19-year-olds coming. It's crazy.
But he's 18, so he's got a lot of potential. He fouls a lot, but
Yep.
Okay, and then the Grizzlies here. If I were them, I would obviously take Bagley. There's really nothing else to say. Bagley,
Not Porter.
not Porter. I wouldn't
Okay.
take Porter at all. Honestly, I wouldn't take Porter outside.
Oh my
inside
gosh.
the 10.
That's such a risky
No
pick.
way. And
Yeah.
so
You know his
Mavericks-
talent's there. I'd rather see the combine before I even made any assumptions on Porter.
I don't know. Mavericks, they've got to replace. They need, if anything, to me, the Mavericks need a guard. If like a really good guard, they already have. I
Do
mean,
you think-
Barnes. They need
okay.
they need a better playmaker because Harrison Barnes. I'm a big Barnes fan, but Harrison Barnes is a small forward. You have to create for Harrison Barnes.
So if you're thinking guard here,
He's not
it's
a-
gotta
he's not a
be-
playmaker.
It's got to be
he's
Trae
got to
Young.
be a guard. If anything,
Trae Young.
the
That's
best. Yeah, I would
guard
take.
left.
I would take a chance and go Trae Young.
Trae Young,
Number
or you
5.
could go Colin Sexton.
But
if
he's
you-
not-
But that's a reach. You're reaching
No,
down.
he's not really a reach, but he is more of a shooting guard. He's more of a Westbrook, more of a Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
So he's not a playmaker. The Mavericks need a playmaker,
Okay.
and if you want to replace Nowitzki, if they want to replace Nowitzki, they go with because if Jaren Jackson's already picked, if Bagley slips that far, you want to take Bagley because they need somebody.
So we're
to
talking the
replace, but
You know, why not Mohamed Bamba at number 5 to the Mavericks? Why not?
Well, because I don't think that the Mavericks need a center as much as they need a playmaker. Because to me,
Okay.
a better playmaker is going to make everybody on the Mavs
Okay.
better.
All right.
And so I think that once you
your
get Trae Young,
explanation.
you make everybody else better. So that's
Okay.
my opinion.
All right, I like that.
So the Magic,
I like that detail. Good.
the Magic are going to take. They're going to take Michael Porter. They're going to take
Yeah.
the chance and
Michael
go with
Porter's
Michael
going
Porter.
to potentially slip down here. All right.
I think he's gonna potentially slip down there because I think these teams above the Magic realize that they're gonna need a better. They need an option now, and Michael Porter is not a
funny story about
he's not an impact player because when you watched him play Missouri, he was scared, he was out of shape. He was shooting poorly.
I didn't see him play.
You didn't watch him play? Well, it's because he only played 2 games.
the couple games, then he's done for the year.
He didn't play all that well.
No,
he still scored double digits, but he had a high volume of shots. Anyway, I think that's what the Magic go with. The Bulls, they say Mohamed Bamba. I think the Bulls go with, honestly, I would either say they go with Bamba here or they go with Wendell Carter. I think Wendell Carter, in my opinion, is a better prospect than Marvin Bagley is because Wendell Carter he's 19, he's 18, turned 19. He's 260 pounds at 19 years old. He's 6'10". He's got better mechanics than Bagley. He's still got a relatively high motor. He shoots better than Bagley. He's just bigger and better. He can bully people, and he can run the floor. I think he's a better prospect.
Good.
If I were the Bulls, I would take Carter because I just think he's better.
Number 8,
Now,
Cleveland
with the
Cavaliers.
Cavaliers.
That's going to be such a nice pick.
Gosh.
That is such a good pick for Cleveland.
They have
Especially
Colin
since the fact
Sexton.
that LeBron might be leaving, so this essentially could be LeBron's replacement.
So,
Could be.
if LeBron leaves, it depends on if Porter. Let's say Porter slips that far.
Ooh,
I think the Cavaliers are going to take that chance, but he's not going to slip that far.
He won't.
The Cavs here either have Bamba. I said Carter, but they could have Carter here. There's they have Colin Sexton. I think that would be a great pick for the Cavaliers. Number one, because I think that he has the potential to be another Donovan Mitchell. I think he's a good player like that. I think that even if LeBron stays, he's a good playmaker for LeBron. So honestly, I think
Colin
they go with
Sexton almost beat the Gophers by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
so
not
they're gonna go with
that.
Colin Sexton. It's really hypocritical for me to say that Mohamed Bamba slips this far, but yeah, the Knicks are from our draft. The Knicks are going to take Mohamed Bamba.
Okay.
Can you imagine having 2 unicorns like Bamba and that would be
Stick
Twin
Bamba down
Towers.
low, put
Oh
him
my
up
gosh.
high. Oh my gosh.
That would be ridiculous. 76ers.
So yeah,
they have Michael
Bridges. End our
Bridges.
quick draft.
I agree with Michael Bridges. The 76ers need kind of a role. I think Bridges has the potential to be
Michael
a good
Bridges
3D.
over Miles Bridges.
Definitely.
Okay.
He's a better prospect. He has more. You look at what Miles Bridges did. Miles Bridges didn't change, and everybody knows his gameplay. He's got to improve his shooting. Bridges has proven everything. He's the ideal NBA wing. He's 6'7". He's got good size. He's got like a 7-some wingspan. He averaged almost 20 points a game. He's exactly who the 76ers need.
All right, so let's scroll all the way down now to the Timberwolves picks, which should be 19. However, since that whole Adrian Payne fiasco trade and then the whole protected pick, Atlanta ended up getting our pick. But however, one spot down, number 20, that should be Utah Jazz's selection. But with the Ricky Rubio trade, that is now the Timberwolves selection. Who do you think the Timberwolves will take at number 20?
Sam and I already had this discussion. We already
did.
threw down the people that they have on their list. So they have Mitchell Robinson. They have the guy from Boise State. And they have Anthony Simons. And then
There's
who else?
someone out of Boise State.
Yeah, that's what I said. The guy out of Boise State. Oh, and then they said Lonnie Walker.
Where's Gary Trent projected at?
So middle second round.
Yeah,
Him and Grayson Allen are going to get picked right next to each other.
Some mock drafts have him going in the first round. Others have him going in the middle second.
He won't.
Which I don't think he's good enough to be first round.
No, he's not.
Teams
But
are going to be scared off by him.
But you're so correct though. He basically was forced to declare because all those players coming in,
Yep.
they're better than Gary Trent. It's insane to say that because Gary Trent was so high up in high school, but they're just better.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think he would have gone one and done regardless of whatever happened because his dad is like, yeah, you haven't even seen what Gary Trent would have done. If he would have gone to a better team, he would have blown up. He would have played much better.
Oh, yeah, that's all the
he
dads
had
say, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think Gary Trent, he could have used more college. All these guys need more college, in my opinion. The only good one and done
It's usually the
that I
top
can
10
think
picks
of is
in the draft.
Simmons should have been a one and done. He needs to be a
Obviously.
one and done. I don't know. Give me another guy who should have been one and done. Or who was and should
Anthony
have been.
Davis?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, in Kentucky's platoon system, you could argue that his 20-some minutes a game, he only averaged 10 points a game, but he showed splashes
Kyrie
of it.
Irving.
I don't know. You watch him play. He looked good enough because he got to the basket a ton. I've seen Duke highlights. You could make an argument that he only played 10 games or 10 or so games, and so. But anyway,
that's back to number 20. Who do you got?
I think that the Wolves, what Sam has always expressed. I don't know. Okay, so Sam has always expressed somebody who needs to be a 3-and-D. What is your opinion? And a shooter. What is your opinion? What do you think the Wolves need?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. I don't follow the draft enough to see. I don't know who's going to be after the top 10. I don't know any of these guys, but they need 3-point shooting, I'm more interested in to see what they do free agency wise because I don't really think late in the first round. The NBA draft isn't like the NFL draft where all throughout the first round you can get guys who contribute. Basically, you got the top 10 picks, and even then most of them will be out of the league in a couple years. So
exactly.
I don't know what you can find there, but definitely somebody who can shoot the ball. They need a bunch of role players. What they need to do is they need to be able to keep Towns, Wiggins, and Butler together. Put a bunch of role players around them who can shoot.
For a lot.
And I think you got a team.
So I think that if he's
Butler
available,
wants to stay.
That everybody says big
know.
man. I don't agree with Mitchell Robinson at all because I don't feel like there's a need for him.
Do you really want to take that risk on a guy who's
No.
been out of basketball for a whole year?
We don't need a big man. Well, I guess
we don't.
Unless Gorgie Jang.
By the way, I think we should trade Dang now that we're talking about that. Trade Gorgie. Yeah.
It's a big contract that no one wants.
Yeah, I know, but
we're not getting anything. Good luck.
If we can ship him out, I want to trade him.
Okay.
I don't know.
Based on what we need, I think the best option if he's there.
Yeah.
Let's see what does this say? Who do they have? Okay, so they have Lonnie Walker going to the Suns, Keita Bates-Diop going to the Wizards at 15. I think the best option for the Wolves, if they're available, is Keita Bates-Diop from Ohio State.
Okay.
I think the Lonnie Walker is a good pick for them. Troy Brown, I would even take. He's not a good shooter, but he's a big wing, and I think Troy Brown would be a good pick there. I think that obviously Zary Smith from Texas Tech would be a good pick.
Well,
honestly, maybe Aaron Holiday is a point guard. You can move him to shooting guard.
Did you mention Kyrie Thomas?
Kyrie Thomas.
Creighton Jr., 3-and-D.
I don't like him. I don't really know much about him. I don't think he's good enough. I wouldn't pick him. No. I wouldn't pick him. And then they talk about Anthony Simons. No. He's 6'4". He's like $180. Not even. I wouldn't even give him $180. He's from high school. He hasn't played a minute of college.
He's just doing the loophole.
He's a lot. He's a high potential long term prospect.
No. We need a player who's gonna play now.
Exactly
For the Timberwolves success. Yeah. We have success now. We need players who can contribute now.
Chandler Hutchinson from Boise State.
Mature.
Yeah, he's mature and he's at 3-and-D. I don't know if he's a shooter. And then another person I would even take is Bruce Brown from Miami. I don't even know
if he falls.
If he falls,
Bruce Brown might even go higher.
No way, he's gonna fall because he really didn't. No, I think Bruce Brown. The deal is he got injured halfway through the year. He really wasn't playing better than he was last year because he could have gotten one and done, but he didn't. And his play actually got worse. So he's gonna.
He did fall a little bit.
I think he's gonna.
I've seen him all around the board.
I think he's gonna fall much farther. I would even say Grayson Allen because Grayson Allen. He's not big. He's 6'4", 6'5", but he's a good shooter. He plays defense. He's a really controversial pick. And then even
it is a controversial pick, but if we'd be reaching down for him, I believe. But if no one else is there, why not?
And he'll be there. And Gary Trent, if they want to take bring a Minnesota kid back.
Oh, I would.
He's a shooter.
He will be available.
He's more long-term potential.
He will be available in the second round. He's
long-term potential.
Right around our pick, he will be there.
He will be there.
So if we want to go second round, I would be all for it. But first round for Gary Trent, no.
If I had my dithers,
there's better players.
If I had my dithers about if I had my dithers,
gosh.
I would
cut his mic out again.
See, the problem with a lot of these guys is there are a lot of potential players. If you want somebody who can contribute now, you want to throw in Thomas. You want to throw in somebody who's mature, like Holiday is, like Hutchinson is from Boise State. I think that they go with Hutchinson.
Okay.
He's the best. He's mature. He's the most mature player. He's what they need. Unless I don't really know how well he shoots, but
yep.
Okay. Short-term short-term potential him, long-term potential. Yep. I say go with Lonnie Walker if he's there.
All right. In the next coming weeks we will have more draft analysis, prospects, all of our scouting reports. And we'll have more mock drafts too, believe me.
Well,
This is our first initial.
Well, and also by
out of the
May
rough.
30th.
No trades have happened yet. We don't know.
And then by May 30th, there are going to be the guys who are going to be in the draft and who aren't. Because
Correct.
there are a lot of guys
Well-
who aren't like 100% there who we could draft. So, and
Dante
who could.
DiVincenzo.
No.
Why not?
No, because
Why not? He's projected first round.
Because he's not good enough. He's a flash in the pan. He had a great playoff. He had a great playoffs with Villanova.
Like crazy, still
Great.
projected first round.
I can't believe it. He's flashy, and teams like what he can do. If he does play like he did against Michigan, then he'll be a great player. But what they were saying is he's not consistent enough. He was spotty as a shooter. He was spotty throughout the year. That's why I don't like him.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our next topic very quickly here. Minnesota Twins. A little bit more success lately. However, we are in by far the worst division in baseball this year. We got the luck of it. The fact that a few weeks ago we were griping like, oh my gosh, Twins, our season's already over, but suddenly we're a half game back. Bizarre how it works. The fact that we can, I think wild card is in about a month or so. Wild card will be out of the question, unfortunately. So we basically have to go all out for this division, and I personally think Logan Morrison's got hot. Our pitching has gotten. Lance Lynn struggled. Yes.
Barrios has struggled too.
Yes, we didn't take a gamble on any free agents. We took very safe risks.
Yeah, and that's working out real well.
Oh my
Why
gosh,
didn't we
yes.
take a gamble? Could we pay somebody?
We
The
could-
Twins could stop being so cheap and then pay somebody for once,
Yeah.
and then we could have gotten a Yu Darvish.
But he's not even doing that. I know you're.
No.
High on Yu Darvish. He's the best option out there.
Do you
He's
really
the
think?
best option.
Do you really think Yu Darvish is going to come to Minnesota?
No.
No.
There
No.
aren't enough Asian
No
people.
s-
It's not warm.
Okay.
It's
Whoa.
stereotypical, but that's what they like.
Jeez.
It's what they want. Why would it's happened with so many players? You look at the
Shuyo Otani did want to stay in the West Coast.
Who was the one guy from Milwaukee, the Chinese player from Milwaukee that they drafted?
Milwaukee?
Remember that? What draft was it? It was.
I have no clue.
He was a Chinese player from Milwaukee.
We used to have Nishioka and Byung-Hoo Park on the team. Now they're both
But because they
gone.
hate him so much.
That was
I don't know. It would be nice to just have some pitching, but Fernando Romero, he's had a couple good starts
yes.
now, and he looks like he's gonna be the real deal.
We got some other pitchers coming back.
Yeah, well, whenever we need Santana back as soon as possible.
Santana, Michael Pineda will come back later. He was a good pitcher till he unfortunately had that. Oh, I think so.
He's such a,
Maybe not with the pine tar, but still.
Yeah, he's been thrown out of 2 games. I hate him, number one, because he's a Yankee.
He's a twin now.
So you don't like
gotta
Phil
him.
Hughes?
Well, no, that's not it, because Phil
Oh,
He's a twin now. You
I
gotta
don't
like
Pineda
him.
because he cheats, because he's a player who's a power
Robinson Cano
pitcher.
cheated.
He's a power pitcher who's losing
Oh, that's another
velocity.
thing we can get to.
He's a power pitcher who's losing velocity on his fastball, and I don't like him.
Okay.
I think he's never really been. Even when he was with New York, he wasn't that successful. When he was with the Mariners, he wasn't great. He's a middle of the rotation player. He's not an ace. I've never been high on him. I don't like
All
him.
right, so this is the last segment coming up, but we did not discuss the Robinson Cano getting suspended 80 games. Now, there are mixed reactions from the league. Some people saying,
Oh, no.
this was this was coming. People were saying this was coming.
Hold on. They're having
No, you're
technical
on.
difficulties again.
You're on.
But
that
it
cord's
was off
loose.
though. Is it loose? No.
Just don't be yanking it.
I'm trying not to. I'm not.
We got some lousy mics around here, so
I should just
At least
get
I
them
have
out.
them.
Okay. Anyway, go back to Robinson
apologizing
Cano.
for the technical difficulties. Blayne
Yeah.
needs to invest in a microphone.
And Blaine's just sucky anyway. So
Blayne needs
keep
a
going.
job.
Keep
All
going.
right.
I do it. Oh my god, I have a job. Okay, keep going.
You don't. All right, so Robinson Cano suspended 80 games. It's mixed reactions from the league. You see some players going like, "Oh wow, Robinson doing that? No way." But then you have Brian Cashman from the Yankees, general manager, basically saying, "Well, you know what? I knew something this was coming." Now there's some people saying, "Oh, he didn't know," but some people are like, "Oh yeah, he knew." And the drug he
how
took
do
was
you not
apparently
know?
a cover up. It was supposed to cover up other things he would take.
That's what he tested positive for.
Yes.
Yeah, was a drug that covers up PEDs.
Yeah. I don't think that's an accident.
It's not an accident.
No.
No, not at all.
This is almost like when Ryan Braun got suspended.
He needs-
just as
he
big as
needs-
when Alex Rodriguez and Ryan Braun both got suspended.
This is
huge.
Yeah. This is what he needs to do. He needs to come out and say, "Hey, listen, I've been cheating for a long time. I'm sorry. I regret it. I'll serve out my suspension, And I'm sorry. I
No,
apologize.
he's doubling down instead.
Do the right thing, Andy Pettit,
Andy
where
Pettit.
he said, "Hey, listen, I did it. I'm sorry. Can you forgive me?" People were like, "Oh wow, do you hear about Andy Pettit anymore being a huge cheater?" No, because he came out and he said it. He served his suspension. He came back, still
Not
did
the
well.
Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds,
Yeah, where
Mark
they all denied it.
McGwire?
Yeah,
really?
where they all denied. No, you should deny it and say you had no clue. Oh wow.
Oh, Sosa
yeah.
admitted after he was done playing. That was the most bizarre part. Like, what?
You look at Sammy Sosa.
We would not know to this day until he said, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
by the way, I did PEDs." No one found out.
You look at Sammy Sosa. Look up a recent picture of him. He looks horrible.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Steroids aren't good for you, kids. Steroids aren't good for you.
no.
No.
Okay, let's move on to our next topic. We were gonna quickly discuss the hard knocks with the Browns, but there's nothing to discuss there besides
With
the
the
fact that there's gonna be a
Browns?
bunch of cameras and
So what's the deal with the Browns?
They're
gonna
being
get Hard
featured
Knocks.
on HBO's Hard Knocks.
You know what that is, right?
It's like
Every year.
It's like they do a
New
different
team
team
every
every
year.
year.
Oh, I don't.
But this year it's gonna be
No.
the Cleveland Browns.
It's basically gonna
I
be
don't think
cameras
it's-
on Mayfield the whole time.
It'll be
Let's be real.
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, it's gonna be kind of interesting,
But
just
we're-
because Baker Mayfield, Tyrod Taylor competing for a job.
All these other rookies who get, I think it's the most sad part. They focus on those rookies getting cut. It's like, God, such gut wrenching.
I don't
But-
really think we need to discuss it.
Exactly, because we're gonna move on to this next
That's
topic.
because they.
Oh,
Well, let's finish with
hold
this.
on. No,
They
no.
are
What's
a
there
Hard
to
Knocks
discuss?
team because they suck, and it's kind of funny
Hard
to
Knocks
laugh.
basically just does
Yeah,
anything.
it's funny to laugh at Cleveland
they've
and
done
their lack of
multiple
success
teams,
for
but-
how many quarterbacks and how many high picks they've had. It's funny
But
to laugh at them.
I don't think this is the biggest story in the NFL today. There was another court case that came out today about Reuben Foster's girlfriend who went to the judge and said she made it all up. Now,
Yeah.
this has been a big thing. Not probably the past 10 years in sports. This has been a big issue where
It's a huge issue.
big sports players. You guys know about the Duke lacrosse case that happened? This
No.
was almost the pioneer of all these false accusations. Where these 3 players in Duke thrown off the team, scholarships lost, kicked off campus, gone. Only a year later, find out that never happened. And then you got other cases like Patrick Kane from the Blackhawks. Remember, you don't
I
hear
remember
about that.
No, of
anymore,
course
do
I
you?
totally remember that. I'm a bandwagon Chicago Blackhawks fan. I was
True.
all about that. You know?
The Derrick Rose case that happened
Mhm.
a few years ago. We know about that.
Yep.
So
No, there was one other player who had
Dante Cunningham from the Timberwolves.
you guys
Probably don't remember about that,
no.
but yeah, that happened. He got kicked out the Timberwolves. Only 2 months later, to find out he did nothing wrong. It's very sad how someone's career. Obviously, all right. Anyone who does sexual assault, obviously, you're terrible. You deserve whatever you get if you did it. However, if there's a false accusation, you just got to realize how much money and how much success they're losing by one false claim.
Well, I still think like Ezekiel Elliott, right? I don't think he's done anything wrong. I honestly don't.
I don't want to.
I think he's put himself in some bad situations.
Oh, he's put
but
himself in terrible situations.
you shouldn't be punished for that when there's no evidence. I mean, there are
Mhm.
text messages on his phone saying, "I want to ruin your career."
Yep.
And that's like exactly what the Reuben Foster's
Mhm.
ex-girlfriend said to the judge. That said that I was trying to ruin his career.
See, the problem with Reuben Foster, and I think I think it all comes down to this. It's very political for teams because Ray Rice, they had him on camera.
Oh yeah, that
He was never charged with
Ugh.
anything, and that girl still married him. If he would have been playing for the Cowboys, he would have never been charged with anything. You look at what happened. Who's the idiot who used to play?
Greg Hardy.
Yeah, Greg Hardy.
from-
Greg Hardy
There was-
did
all right.
much worse, and he actually did it. And the girl is like,
He was never charged yet.
he wasn't charged either.
Technically, there was really never any proof. These were all. He probably did do it, yes, but there was never 100% proof that he did it. There never was.
But
You know
still,
Greg Hardy.
We all
still,
okay.
he's
We
playing for the
we all
Cowboys.
know he's guilty, but there technically was never any evidence saying, "Look at that, boom." I
But
believe
still-
he was guilty, but
He was guilty.
Oh,
He was guilty.
I think-
he was guilty. I mean, then you got
Yeah.
Ray Rice. This is part of where Roger Goodell gets all his flack because he handles this Ray Rice case so unbelievably poorly. Does nothing about it.
what was it, like a 2-game suspension at first?
There was
Something
no
like-
suspension.
No, there was a very small.
There was no
suspension.
suspension.
Yes, there was.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't any suspension initially
There had
with Ray
no.
Rice.
I think there was
Until
Okay,
and because he botched that so bad, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna suspend Adrian Peterson for the year."
yeah.
That was a weird.
Was
we're not
AP
even-
was AP even charged with anything either?
Oh yeah.
Was he
Oh,
charged?
that,
Okay.
we all know what there was proof and evidence what he did.
But still, even what Adrian Peterson still did, I don't think he did that to his kid just because he was drunk. I think he did it to his kid because that's how he was raised.
That's
And because
how,
it's a cultural thing. Do you listen to old Southern music? Listen to old Southern music like I went and like a switch. A switch is like the most culturally Southern thing you'll ever hear.
The thing with that is that is how he was raised, and I mean doesn't make it right, but there was no reason that based on things are partly set on precedent, and Ray Rice does something horrible intentionally and gets no punishment for it at all, and Adrian Peterson, what he did it wasn't good, but it was something that he was raised on, and he gets extra punishment because of what Ray Rice did.
That exactly right there. Boom.
And that's the problem with Roger Goodell is he's got no idea of he times him all wrong. Think about the kicker for the Giants, Brown. He didn't get any punishment at all.
That's right.
He's a serial abuser and he doesn't get any punishment at all from the league. He get cut from the Giants, but he didn't get any punishment at all from the league.
But that's also the Giants too. The Giants are
mainstream team.
They're a mainstream team. And is it Mara or is it
Mara?
Is it Mara? Mara is the dirtiest owner. He's behind the scenes on everything. He's one of the more defining the Mara family. I don't really know him specifically. The Mara family is one of the founding NFL. They're the backbone of the NFL. So I think it comes down to this. I think guys should be punished on their legal status. If they're charged with something, you should be fined. You should be all that. But I think what the NFL is doing is because they realize how slow and how poor our legal system is now. Because how long did it take this whole Adrian Peterson thing to happen? They knew it. They had the evidence against them. It still took a year and a half to 2 years.
No, it didn't take that long.
Didn't take that long?
Mm-mm. It happened in the whole off season. It was only in that one off season because he played the first game of that year and then was suspended for the rest of the year.
Sure.
So it was like from the off season. It didn't happen until after the first game, but after that, it didn't take that long.
I don't know. I think that the NFL, what they do is they realize that legally it'll take them a lot longer than if they just say, you know what, you did it, you're being accused of it. Whether or not you did it or not, if the accusations are true, Reuben Foster, we're still going to suspend you anyway.
Well, should we do
All
some
right.
higher or lower here?
Well, off that little sad note, we're gonna move on to our game, higher or lower.
Let's do it.
What are the tallies, by the way?
Is it me versus you now?
It is indeed.
Yes,
The
let's
rivalry
do this.
has.
if I believe,
Oh.
if I remember
Okay,
right,
all
I
right.
think I have 3 and each of you guys has 1.
Yeah, well, Nolan did well but what I did you listen to our segment? It was kind of
fell
me
asleep.
just asking him trivia. He got them all right, but Nolan, you did really well. Like my
Were they
questions weren't
easy?
difficult.
Do you have
No,
a copy of
they
your question
weren't-
somewhere?
It's right here, actually.
Yeah, they
Oh,
weren't-
I want to
okay.
look at them.
They weren't
They
that
right here?
bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll read them to you. Here, let me read
No,
them.
wait, well, let's just get going with the higher or lower here, but
Let's do it.
yeah. So I have 3. Blayne, you have 1, and Sam, you have 1. So
Too many, and they're not bad questions. I think they're too low digit numbers. You gotta get a little higher up there. You gotta make them. But plus, with higher or lower, we have to guess, and then you make a. That's kind of it's. The one-on-one is a little more easier than us two going. Well,
all right.
it has its contrast. All right, so where's the
So who wants to start?
where's the coin?
Yeah, where's the coin?
We have the coin flip, bro.
That penny that was behind Nolan's couch is
Here,
no
I
longer there,
found
so
something right here.
I don't have any coins.
Dang, look at this. Found a quarter on the
Found a quarter on the ground. All right.
All right,
Can I
Who's
have it?
calling it in the air?
Blayne. Heads or tails?
Okay, I guess fine. I'm gonna call heads. I always call heads.
Oh, it fell. Don't touch it.
It is heads.
Haha.
Okay, so Blayne, do you want to answer first, or do you want Sam to answer first?
I want Sam to answer first.
I do it.
All right, Sam.
Okay, bring it.
So, we were talking, like I mentioned about Tracy McGrady, going over to China, being like, yeah. Anyways, he was on First Take again today, too.
Was
so-
he really?
Yeah.
What, Tracy McGrady?
How many points per game did he average for his career?
Trace McGrady. So he played.
Wait. Now that's a really that's a broad question for his NBA career or
His
for,
NBA
like, his
career.
whole career.
His NBA career.
I'm gonna go 25.
25. All right,
He's
Blayne.
obviously less than that.
Yep, he was less than that.
Yeah.
19.6.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He had some down years where like he's
Really?
injured a lot. And
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I was thinking more in the
Rockets.
ballpark of like 15 to 18 because like
Wow, I
don't
went
know.
too high. All right.
okay, did pick too high.
All right, so the Cavs obviously got lost game 2, and LeBron had no help, and one of the people he had no help from was J.R. Smith. So how many more fouls did J.R. Smith have in game 2 than points?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard question.
So how many more fouls?
He had
did
two more fouls. I'm gonna say he had 2 more fouls.
Higher or lower?
Higher than 2 more fouls.
Blayne was actually right on the
Oh.
nose. It was 2 more fouls, and he had 2 fouls and 0 points.
I lost anyways. Oh.
So
I love those low number questions.
Blayne is up.
I'm so good at this. Yeah.
So, all right. So other than Kevin Love and LeBron, how many shots did the Cavs make in game 2 other than Kevin Love and LeBron? The rest of the team combined.
Shots made.
Shots made.
Okay. So they scored about
These are good.
shots. This counts free throws and all that stuff.
No, not free throws. Field goals.
Oh wow, this actually narrows it down quite a bit. I think.
Field goals made by the Cavs. Game 2. Cavs that are not named Kevin Love or LeBron James.
15.
All right, Blayne, higher or lower?
That's higher.
No.
12. Woo!
What?
I was gonna go even lower.
12.
Serious?
I was gonna go even lower.
Outside
No,
of
no, I'm losing it.
yeah.
Oh,
You're
no
good.
way, really?
Other than
I think it's okay.
No, I think it just.
No, it wasn't. I can see from here.
yeah. So other than LeBron,
I'm not even gonna be on this podcast. Am I?
and
No,
Kevin Love.
you've been on. You
We'll
were on
talk
for at
about
least the
that.
draft. That's all we
made
need you
12
for.
shots.
Yeah, that's all we need you for.
All right. So
Okay.
as
Okay, 2-1.
2-1.
every time LeBron has a big game, there's always these comparisons to Michael Jordan. So, how many games did Michael Jordan play in his career? NBA games. How many NBA games did he play?
Holy cow, that's just a tough game. Or excuse me, a tough game. How many games? How many games did
I
he play?
do. I might get this one.
So 80 a year. He probably played at an average of, let's say, 75. He had a 12-year career.
Thank goodness I'm not answering this question.
Probably, I'm gonna say 920.
920. All right, Sam. Higher or lower than 920?
Injured all that much.
20.
I'm gonna say 920.
It's gonna be higher.
That is correct.
I
Tied up
needed that
2-2.
one. I needed
1,072 games.
Close,
So that was
close.
a good guess.
That's just unfortunate about this game. You can get so close, but I can just say, oh, higher. I get it. I get it.
Is this
That
a
was
tiebreaker?
good.
We still have
No,
two
that's
questions to
2-2.
go.
We have
2-2.
7 questions
There's
here.
7 questions. Okay.
So-
I thought we were going 5.
All right, Sam. So back to Tracy McGrady. On December 9th, 2004, Tracy McGrady had like a ridiculous end of the game to beat the San Antonio
Funny, I know
Spurs
this game.
81-80.
Tell me.
How many points did he score in a 33-second span?
The funny thing, I actually know this question because I watched clips of this. So it's either I'm stuck on 2 numbers right now because I'm stuck on 2 numbers. I don't want to. And how long of a span?
In a 33-second span.
He scored 11 points.
All right, Blayne, higher or lower?
I'm gonna say that's a tough one because that's like a median. He probably made. I'm gonna say lower.
That is incorrect.
13, wasn't it?
He had 13
Oh, I should have said
points
13.
in 33 seconds.
I went with the safer option. I remember that's one of my favorite clip. I was actually gonna mention that in like the second question, but that was an awesome. You would have to watch that clip yourself.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous game.
That's
Right. So if I
that's a
get
good one right
if I get this question, I win.
Yep, so if Sam can get this question, he wins. So I realized after that 5th question, I had all basketball questions, so I thought I'd throw one football
Yeah,
in.
I had to mention
One
that.
in. So you obviously remember the Minneapolis Miracle. How many yards was Stephon Diggs' touchdown at the end of the game? How many yards?
Right?
Yep,
It
that's
was-
you.
I think it was like a 75-yard touchdown, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. You can't answer that
know.
question.
I'm talking to myself. Yeah, it was like a 72-yard touchdown, I'm gonna say.
So are you locked in on 72? All right, Sam, higher or lower?
Crap, because I'm stuck right now. Because 72 is such a good number. I'm thinking 71 or 73. You picked it right on. think it was 71. Lower.
It is lower. It was
Oh.
61.
Oh, I got it.
So
Oh, I was wrong.
Sam-
I don't feel very good about winning,
Sam
but
does win, but I do have one more question.
you want to add?
wanna
All right,
just
go for
throw
it.
in
Since it's
there.
my turn,
Dang it.
we'll just.
That was pretty close. Like, that was a good.
For some reason, yeah, I should have probably calculated that they were
That was
from.
a good. That was a good.
Anyways, my last question was, how many minutes per game has LeBron averaged in his career for
Has
his entire
minutes?
career? Minutes per game.
I'm gonna go with 41 and a half.
I'm gonna say he's averaged 36 minutes a game.
38.8. So split the difference there, and you guys are
Was that Tom?
I don't know.
Wow, I put a
Anyways.
way too high of amount.
So I gotta
I thought it was almost lower.
chalk down Blayne for another point here.
Blayne for another point.
Sam, who won?
I won.
I already lost. All
We
right,
got recording
Sam
of it.
for another, yeah, Sam.
That was a good section. Though.
I don't feel very
So-
proud of myself because now
Hey, that
I'm
was-
tied with
that was
Blayne
good.
1-1.
That was good.
I'll brag about it when
You got
I'm
two now.
ahead.
Yeah, it's 3, 2, and 1.
3, 2, and 1.
Okay, who's doing the question next week then? Me?
Who is doing the questions next?
Me or
week?
Blayne? Me.
Yeah,
You did 2 weeks. I'll do it.
So Blayne,
Alright.
yeah,
I'll
Sam
make
will
it
do the
fiend.
questions
I'll
next
make it.
week.
I'll make it fun.
All right. Well, I think
right.
that's all we got.
No, we got-
Well, that is all we got. Well, things that come up, you still got the NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs. We might be discussing finals previews for both next week. We don't know. We're recording this on a Thursday, so it is a little bit later than we do. We just had a little difficulties getting the 3 of us here because we want to do the 3 of us now. But anyways, we hope you liked our recording. It's a little bit over what we like to do, but there's some decent talking points today. A lot of good thoughts today on our podcast. So if you did enjoy the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel on Minnesports with the Purple Kool-Aid Man, as always. Go onto our Reddit page on r-Minnesports to continue the discussion and ask any more questions. Be sure to look out for tweets as well on r-Minnesports5. Any last closing statements or hot takes we have for this week of sports?
Blayne wanted to end in
Blayne?
hot takes
Rockets are gonna win.
Rockets are going to win what?
against Golden State or against the finals.
In how many games?
They're gonna win every single game after this.
Okay.
So they're gonna win in 5.
They're going to win 5?
I'm gonna
Okay.
say it.
Nolan, hot take?
Hot take. Cavs are gonna come back and beat the Celtics.
In
and
how
be
many
back in
games?
the finals. I'm gonna say 7.
7?
I think so. That's a good number.
Boston in 4. All right.
Okay.
See you later.